Howdy folks, I'm just going to quickly show you how I put my saw into the chainsaw mill, just in case you're some of you new guys, if you don't know how to do that. It's not too tough, it just takes a little time to tighten everything down right. So I've taken my dog off of the saw just for a little bit more room and get that out of the way, but I'm sure that my muffler is probably going to be kind of in the way. So it's like I took the dog off, but then I got the muffler, so I'm probably not gaining anything. But anyway, so I'll show you how I do this real quick. I like to have my bar hanging off the end of the table. Still flashing. And on these, it's backwards for one. These are bolts. I just loosened them up when I took it off, and so they're obviously loose enough that I can get the bar on and off. So I'm just gonna slide this. It's good to have the bar off the end of a table so you're able to feed it in there fairly easy. I can get my fat fingers to work. So the initial thing is that part right there that clamps down on the bar. You just slide it up on there. When you get down to this end, you got to make sure you tuck this one in. And basically, it was not there. I'll straighten this out. Come right here. You want to be able, there's a piece right there that's your clamp, and it leaves space on either side for the chain to move. So you want your clamp to be in the middle of your bar, and you also don't want it to be out into your sprocket. Your sprocket runs right here. So I think we're going to be alright there, but I may need to move it just a hair. We'll see. And then I got to get the back one straight. Okay, so that's in there. That's where we're going to put that for now. And then I need a 1/16 of an inch. Well, that flexes. Just a hair clearance right there. I don't want that in my sprocket, so we'll see how that goes. That's right. Very possibly the right one. Nope, just missed. Well, this is the one that's I've got two different size bolts here. This one, I have three that are 14s, and then I've got one that's a half, and that's because one of my bolts that came from China didn't have a head on it, and so it was just rounded. It's kind of hard to tighten a bolt that is rounded, so I had to go get one that was the same thread pattern from the hardware store, and it also had a different head. So here's what it is. And we're centered there, centered in the back still. 14 is what I'm running. I'm sure everybody's will be slightly different. If you get the Granberg mill, then of course you're going to match all of the Granberg mills, I would assume. So that's in there good and tight. You don't want to get them super tight, but you definitely want them tight. So otherwise that thing will move around and get into your chain. And so these blocks, I have concocted these blocks to give me the distance I need on the up and down. So like for instance right here, this is, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's 2 blocks high. Now, the reason this is 2 blocks high is when I make my first cut, I've got a 2x8 or 10 or 12 sitting on top of my log. And so I need the extra 2 inches. So I need 2 inches for the board, and then another 1.5 inches for the nails that are running into the log. And so I go basically 4 inches deep, so that way I don't cut into the screws and I make that first slice. And then after that, you take the top board off and then you just run on your flat surface. So then I would take this and I would take these 2 and I would go like this and lower the whole rack down. You just loosen these 2 bolts here. I'm getting my wrench to go the right direction. I've got my preset boards that are at the depth I want right there. And then I loosen those 2 bolts there. And then this, yeah, I mean basically it's a U joint here, a U bolt. And so there's 2 on either side. Loosen those 2, and she slides down, and of course these are down all the way, and we tighten them back up. Try to keep these pulling even on either side, so just watch your threads and try to keep the threads even. That way it's just pulling straight. Looks like they're about the same now. This one. Alright. Putting tight. And we slide our boards out and the depth is set. And 2 bolts over here, and then this thing just drops down, and then you get it nice and level on that. It's nice to have these boards because it gets it even automatically. They're the same thickness, and so you don't have to sit there and measure and all that sort of stuff. And they've got to run in between your 2 rails, because the rails are what's the lowest peaks. So you just loosen those bolts, lower it down, tighten the bolts back up, slide the boards out, and you're ready to cut. So it's a piece of cake. Right now it is ready for my first cut when I start planking out this oak log I got out here. So this is my basic mill setup. I got a winch that I picked up. I believe this was a Harbor Freight winch, like $20 I think it was. $5 worth of paracord, a couple carabiners, and a pulley. So that works pretty good. This is a old Lawn Boy gas tank, and it was just laying around the barn, and so I cobbled it together with, I found this bracket in the trash. It was kind of crazy, but it was perfect. And so I just used that bracket to hold the gas can, a couple of pipe clamps to hold it onto my upright, piece of hose. I had to buy this brass fitting, the hose, and then this valve down here, and it just comes, the oil just drips out right on the chain right there, but I had to buy that valve, the hose, and the brass fitting. Everything else was free, and I think total investment was about $19. So it was pretty simple. I know Granberg's selling theirs for close to 100 for theirs. It may be more than that now. So yeah. But those are the upgrades that I've made. Looks like my muffler is going to come out nice and good. It's not going to be, I mean, it's right next to the upright, but before it was literally blowing right on the mill and right on the log. So, and it was just, fumes were just pooling up right there. So I think we're pretty much ready to go for the next planking session. So, which is hopefully going to be this week. So thank you, folks. Have a good evening. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, if you have any comments, you're welcome to like and subscribe, and also leave any comments down below. Thank you very much.